Hey, it's Doug Cunnington. I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting today. Welcome. If you're tuning in for the first time, I am Doug Cunnington. Like I said, I blog at Niche Site Project and mainly talk about internet marketing and write stuff about internet marketing. If you're tuning in for the first time, I am Doug Cunnington. Like I said, and sorry about the little recording there. That was just me listening to myself and making sure it's working. Hopefully we'll have some people attending shortly. I'm going to cough again. Sorry, not sure what that was. So basically today we're going to talk about intermittent fasting, and if you are watching, say hello in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. And we got Dennis and David. What's up? Thanks for joining today. And I'm continuing the dieting idea here. So yesterday was the low information diet from the 4-hour work week, and that's been going, well, I do that anyway. I just don't pay attention to anything. And my wife's testing it out, so I talked about it yesterday. And I see Nick's on. Rohan, what's up? And someone is telling me the video's off. So let me double check that. I don't know why I turned it on. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. Let's see, is the video working, folks? Let's see. Looks like, I don't know. It looks like the video isn't working. No video. Okay, you know what? I don't know why it's not working. I see myself and I see other stuff going on. So let me just okay, so you can see video. Everyone can see video? Cool. All right. Awesome. Okay. So I guess I can get into it then. So I guess it was like the last couple weeks I realized that I was eating more than I needed to, which I think I probably do most of the time anyway, but I was eating more than I needed to. And then worse, I was like eating because it was like a habit and part of the day, and I was eating too much. So like I had my friend TJ, which I think some people actually saw TJ on one of these live streams a couple Fridays ago, and we like went out to eat a bunch. We drank a lot, and really I didn't feel that good after like that. And it was after the course launch and different things that were sort of like stressing me out. And like I know that I can only focus on a certain number of things at a time. So like during the course I was focusing on that. Even this period I'm onboarding people and I'm focusing a lot on that portion. So that said, I wasn't really paying attention to like what I was eating, and I was eating a lot, and I was just sort of feeling like soft around the edges. So I usually actually I don't even know how much I weigh right now, but I usually am pretty tight around like 155 or so. And basically I was just like, I don't feel as good. I know I've been eating too much. I feel full like more often. So over the weekend I was like, I think I'm going to do some intermittent fasting. And the general idea is this. By the way, has anyone done intermittent fasting? Just let me know in the chat over there. And if you have, let me know how it went. I think it's probably not uncommon for most people to like want to diet some anyway. Just in general, most people eat a little bit too much and don't eat as healthy as they should. So dieting is usually a pretty common thing. So anyway, the idea with intermittent fasting, there's a couple like schools of thought around it. And one is to like fast for like multiple days where basically you don't eat at all for like 2 to 3 or 5 days, whatever you're picking. I'm not doing that one. I would probably just be super grouchy and not in a good mood. So I'm not doing that one. But there's several ways, but the one that I am doing, those are that's the main one that I understand. The one that I am doing is like basically I'm isolating the hours that I'm eating to something much more narrow. So normally I would like probably eat something like as soon as I wake up, like 6 a.m., and then I would probably eat dinner roughly 12 to 14 hours later. So I'm consuming food for like 14 hours. And the idea is to like narrow that window each 4 days where I'm only eating from say like 2 p.m. to like 6 or 7 p.m. And the idea is like it takes a while for your body to like actually, I guess, digest and process the food that you're eating. So like when you're fasting, like for breakfast, and you're fasting like from dinner to breakfast, it's like not enough time for your body to actually like kick into fasting mode where you're like burning more fat is the idea, like where you're burning more fat and basically like hungry. So I'm not describing it as well as other people. I think James Clear has a really good article on it on jamesclear.com. And what I'm doing specifically is I'm just eating the same stuff that I normally would, and I'm just not eating until like 2 p.m. And I think, to be fair, I probably ate up until like 7 or so last night. But, you know, there's a couple things that happen. One, like your body does like burn the fat a little more readily from like, I guess it's when you exceed like the 12 hours of not eating. So like all the magic happens at the very end of the fast. So if let's say I didn't eat dinner until like, let's say I finished eating at like 8 last night. Well, it's 10 o'clock now. So I'm at like 14 hours. So like from like right now, 10, 12 until like 2 when I actually eat, like that's when all the magic will happen, when my body's like burning the extra calories that I wouldn't have burned before from hopefully fat and other stuff like that. So that's the hope, that's the thought. And I mean, just right off the bat, the other thing that happens is it's a little harder to eat like all the food that you need to, or that you would normally eat in like that 5-hour period. So if I want to hit the same calories, which should be fine, if I want to hit the same calories, I'll have to eat like either more food or more like calorically dense food, like I don't know, butter or something. But I'd have to eat more. But if I just eat until I'm full and feel fine, then I'm probably going to be consuming less calories, which of course like puts me at a deficit, which is good if I want to like tighten up those soft edges. So, okay, I see a couple people. Nick says he intermittently fasts most days. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, sometimes like, you know, if it's the weekend or something, then, you know, you kind of got to have fun with it. And then Dennis says it's not a good idea to eat after 6 p.m. At least that's what you've read. And that way you're fasting at least for 12 hours a day, which is cool. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little tough to, depending on when you normally eat dinner. So, okay, cool. Well, it looks like people are distinctly not interested in my dieting. We dropped down to like 3 people, and I'm probably one of those. So it's good to know you got to test stuff. So basically, that's what I'm trying out. I think this is I guess it's the 3rd day this week that I'm doing it, and I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to try and do it for the full rest of the week. Maybe that's a good block to look at. I know a lot of times when I like clean up my eating and maybe I stop drinking beer for most days, I don't see any results. Like the first week. It's always like after the second week or in the middle of the second week. So it may be good for me to like keep this up like during the work week and then do it again next week before I make any like calls. But I mean, I can tell you I'm hungrier more often, which is probably a good sign, because I think before I was full more often than anything else. And I think I am starting to feel a little bit better. And the other thing is, like, when you feel hungry, usually I'm like, oh, I'm going to go eat something. But if you just kind of get used to the fact that you may be hungry sometimes, and it's okay, like, you get used to it a little bit and sort of, I mean, at this point right now at 10, like, I'm pretty hungry, but I'm going to go for a walk in a minute and just kind of exercise a little bit. Nothing too, crazy, but I'm going to get out of the house, and I think that'll be a good thing overall. So cool. Any questions out there or suggestions for, my fasting this week? And like I said, I'm eating like exactly the same stuff. So I mean, that's kind of like the ideal situation where you don't have to like use your willpower to like eat like super healthy stuff. I'm just eating regular stuff that I normally would anyway, which is like partially healthy and partially like pretty unhealthy, but should be good. So I think that's JP says, I've tried every diet out there as you're a fat bastard, and intermittent fasting was one of the better ones. Yeah, I think it's much easier if you can like get into the right mindset. And again, I'm like, I was used to not being hungry, and I think like switching that around a little bit is probably going to be a good thing overall. And JP says, you're pretty much back to the normal eating routine minus the junk foods and drinks. That's good. I mean, I think, just to clean it up a little bit is probably good from a long-term perspective versus like, trying a diet and not working, and trying a diet and going on it and then off it and stuff like that. So, and you mentioned Jeff Cavalier on YouTube and his website, Athlean. Cool. I will check it out because I haven't heard of, and I didn't do much research. I did like a light bit of reading, and I've heard about it over time. Every now and then I would, do these little fasting periods, but I haven't done it from like a long-term perspective. So it'd be really good if I had like a routine. Maybe I do it 4 days a week, so it's most of the time, and then other days where I can like, I guess eat more casually and wake. Because normally what I would do is like I'd wake up and have like a protein shake, and then like not eat much. I'd have like a couple coffees, and then have like a lunch. But this definitely shifts it. Nick says, eat clean foods, take in less than you burn, lift weights. If you do cardio, do HIIT style cardio after your workout, and you just solved 90% of my health problems. Yeah, that's true. Very true. I need to lift more weights, and actually I run a decent amount, and I've been doing some physical therapy at a clinic up the street here. So they're cleaning up my running. I guess I was sloppy, and I had a lot of, there's all these like little small things, because I've done like roughly a dozen like half marathons. So like I really enjoy that distance. I really love to run like over 1 hour, but I was starting to get like little injuries, and it was, a lot of just like small alignment issues. I hope that's all it is anyway. And then Nick also says, if I want to learn about intermittent fasting, check out PD Megan. Cool. All right, awesome. Well, thanks guys and gals, if you're out there, for watching. We'll see if we'll see if maybe more people just were interested in the internet marketing side of what I'm talking about. But I think it's interesting to have just like real narrow thing that I'm into right now. Plus, I mean, if I'm hungry, I want other people to suffer with me. So, all right, I'll get out of here. Everyone have a good day. We'll be back tomorrow. I haven't figured out the other dieting topic, but I'll have to look around. Maybe I'll leave the dieting to something else, or maybe I talk about beer diets. That'd be an interesting one. Ah, interesting. Nick's dropping some good knowledge on the intermittent fasting stuff. So this PD Megan says, when you intermittent fast, it causes what's called autophagy, and that's when your cells eat each other. Your body starts eating the bad cells, and the strong ones survive. So it cleans out your body, and that's a simplified version of what happens. And I have heard, I think it was on the Tim Ferriss podcast, there were a few guests who talked a lot about the intermittent fasting, and this PD Mangan, or I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but that's how it's spelled phonetically. And they were talking about like cancer patients, like going through like fasting periods and stuff, and kind of what you're saying, Nick, in the simplified version, which is much easier to understand. That is, that's good to know. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Everyone have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll do it again at the same time and place. See ya.